Hello and welcome on our third episode about data engineering and data science in Microsoft Fabric.
Hello,
Today,
everyone.
I have a special guest. It's the third time Ted is joining us to share his knowledge about some cool features. And this time, I would love to discuss with Ted whether we should use Lakehouse or data warehouse to store our data. Also, of course, discussing that from the persona, data engineering persona. So, Ted, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's a very interesting question, and it's very hard to choose between these two. I think main reason for that is that if we look at architecture, underneath it, both data warehouse and lakehouse runs on one lake, and both run on a delta format. So underneath, both of them actually store data in the same way, so which is great. It's an open format which can be accessed by customers in using any other workloads, and at the same time it could be inter-exchange between one another. So what that means that you could actually shortcut data from Lakehouse into the warehouse and be able to access the data which is stored currently in warehouse in Lakehouse and vice versa. Also, there is one particular feature on the Lakehouse. Lakehouse has so-called SQL endpoint, and SQL endpoint basically is the full-fledged data warehouse on top of the Lakehouse data. The only caveat there is that it's read-only. So all you can do is basically access the data, read it, manipulate it, but you cannot store it back using SQL endpoint as you could in the data warehouse. So that way, basically, selecting Lakehouse gives you also opportunity to use some data warehouse features. Now, when it comes to choice one or another, I would say it depends on the use case. If you want to work with your data using programming languages like Python, R, Scala, or use Spark SQL in the notebooks, then you need to go with the Lakehouse. If you want a full functionality of T-SQL, then you need to go with Data Warehouse. If you find just with Delta format, Data Warehouse is fine, but maybe you want some other formats like CSV tables, Parquet tables, or store unstructured data like files, like images, or other unstructured data for your data science projects, then Lakehouse is a better option. But other than that, I think, basically customers can try out one or another and quite easily migrate between those two. So that's the advantage of Fabric, that it's fully open and fully integrated.
Yeah, at the same time, we have one tool, Fabric, and then we can switch from data engineering, so direct access to Lakehouse. We can switch to data warehouse mode, so full capabilities on right now what we are naming Synapse Data Warehouse. And at the same time, we can switch the Lakehouse mode from like Lakehouse and switch to the SQL endpoint.
Exactly.
Super. So both working together, like is a like full story and story working together better means better.
Yes.
Ted, that was amazing. I hope that the next time we can dig into some details about how open Fabric platform is in terms of the data types and the digging into the startup time for Spark and also for SQL endpoint. Thank you so much for today for sharing all the thoughts and your perspective. And see you next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.